the same time opposite stuff.
Yes. So
Yeah.
so this is around core values.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And one overrode the other. One had more importance to you than the other. So, for example, it just shows that you have a higher value of making your kids happy, and you are willing to extend yourself, right, to make the kids happy, which is where that fulfillment came in afterwards. Okay. The fulfillment of one of your core values of what you continue to invest in, seeing them happy, met your core value. However, if you go back to the beginning, which is the starting point, if you didn't have that core value, right, it's that you said yes. So there are two things here. I want you to recognize your core value. You lived out your core value, or let's say this, your core value gave you fulfillment, even though at the beginning you did what you didn't want to do. Yes?
Yes.
So, but here's the key. The work that you still need to do, yes, you have core values which made it okay at the end of the day. Do you understand? What made it okay at the end of the day was your core value, but the work that you're still acknowledging you need to do is your ability to say no when you mean to say no to other people who eventually will end up taking you for granted. Because the person you've always been to them is a yes ma'am. So they didn't even have the dignity and respect to give you heads up warning. So this is where I will come up and give you the tough one, is that this also shows that these people don't respect your time because you don't respect your time. That's how they can drop things on you. And this is not the first time. They will continue to drop on you because you accept nonsense. Do you know the nonsense here? So that, right? The fact that somebody is coming to your house has an intention, do ABCD, and didn't give you a day's notice, 24 hours notice, didn't give you the courtesy, the respect of letting you know ahead of time. Miss Dudley, do you want to mute, please? Thank you. Thank you, awesome. So this is where that disrespect comes in, so that you see it is, number one, they didn't give you heads up, unless they gave. I'm going by the story you shared with me, okay? They didn't give you heads up. They didn't give you 24 hours notice. They didn't bother to tell you ahead of time so that you can prepare. So that's one. Number two, they didn't give you a way out. They dumped on you, right? At least if somebody wants to do that, they will present it as an ask, and they will let you decide if it is okay or not. The way you describe it is like, this is what we are doing. Here you go. Take care of the kids. They've already had plans before they came. They didn't call you. They didn't tell you anything. They didn't even give you a way out. You just took it on. Then the next day, how did the second person hear about it? They all talk. So when anybody needs this, after you finish cooking, you've hosted them. Even for them to even have the care enough to even let you go and sleep, they still brought more assignment to you. Do you see this thing? That's why, listen, I'm not in your entanglement stories are yours. If you share them, I will call it out. Do you understand? You hosted people according to you. You cooked, you cleaned. When they were leaving, did they wash the pot? Did they even help you out? They now still had the audacity to be leaving kids for you to care for kids. You're hanging around some funny, incredible people. That's on you, though. So that's why I asked you, do you want me to say something or not? Because I won't put my mouth. These are incredible realities. After you finish cooking and doing all the work, they gave you more work. They gave you more work and you said yes. And then the next day, other people were like, come on. We could have. So here you go. So that's that. I gave you a perspective. What say you now? You said I should talk. I've talked, so I'll let you. Let me back out now. Go on, please.
Yeah, yes, your perspective is very accurate. And yesterday, because I was conflicted before, because it ended up being part of my core values, but I also felt that that was extremely disrespectful and jumping on me like that.
Did
Because
they even clean? Did these people help you arrange after they finished? Did they even help you at all? Did they, or they just came and they even took plates and took food again? Which one? Which kind of category
of
of people are
course,
you? Huh?
they
Did they
came
take
and
away?
of course they take away. They
They didn't
come,
bring
they come.
nothing.
No, they come, they
Did they
eat,
bring
they
any
take
small
away.
gift? Did they bring any small gift to even show appreciation? Which character of people are you dealing with?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, oh no, this will never happen again. I have evolved from
Which
this
one will never
particular
happen again?
stuff.
So that I understand your state now. Which one are you making a decision on?
Well, the decision for me was nobody's dumping on me anything. Whether you show up at my house, I invite you and you show up and you say, oh, by the way, uh, we are having a sleepover, I'll be like, nope, we didn't plan that, so that's not
That's
gonna
not the
happen.
solution. That's not the solution.
Hmm.
The solution, if you really want to solve this and train
Yeah.
yourself and train other people,
Yes.
it is to pick up your phone and call the person that did that one, and call the person and say, hello, hello. Oh, I just have a conversation to have with you. The last time I was happy to have this, right? Over. However, next time, give me 24 hours notice and don't make assumption I'm going to say yes, especially when I've been cooking all day. I needed to rest. Listen, I'm okay to have so you separate, right? Your daughter and the kids. Listen, your daughter is always welcome in my house, but you as the parent behave like an adult. Make sure you give me at least 24 hours notice, so that I can process it, think about it, and then get back to you. Don't make assumption that I'm always going to say yes. Don't do that again. You see, if you can pick up the phone and have that conversation with that person, you have to teach other people what you will accept and what you will not accept. Because you just having a conversation inside of yourself, right? That they haven't gotten the memo. There's a time you have to give people the memo of, from now on, this is my expectation. If you're going to do this, I expect you to let me know at least 24 hours before, right? Even let me tell you, I remember, that's what I'm saying. You said there's a place where you set the stage, what you accept or not. I remember a while, somebody would say, oh, okay, let me not even share. Let me not make this about myself. It's okay. It's okay. Did that help? Did that
Yes, it
perspective help?
helps.
Is that something
Yes,
you
it did
feel
a
you
lot.
can do? Is that something you feel you are ready to do?
Oh yes.
Because it's
Oh yes.
it's an after effect of just challenging the person that even though you accepted what they did, you're not going to accept it next time. That's just it. Because if you don't communicate it, don't make assumption that people will repeat the pattern they've always repeated and how they perceive you. Because one of the things that you fundamentally also need to understand is that there's a side of you that wants people around you, and because of that, you are willing to accept just any kind of person just because you want to be friendly. Okay? That's something you still have to deal with. Whatever that void is, you still want to make sure you are protective of the types of personality and characters that you want to welcome into your atmosphere. Who are these people? Who are these people? Talk to share a little bit more, if you're okay with that.
Yeah, they're actually friends, so they're
Okay,
actually friends, but then they do overstep their boundaries. So I
okay, wait.
do, but mhm.
What do you mean by friends? Friends don't do this. Or is this something you also do to them? Do you also
uh,
do this to them?
no, I'm not that kind of a person.
Okay. So are these your friends? What's your definition of friendship? No,
I guess, I guess they're not friends.
no. Don't take my words. I want you to process this. Please don't take my words. Just start within yourself.
So for
What's
me,
the
the
definition of friends?
definition of a friend is someone who you can call if you need help, and they will
Mhm,
jump. Which
mhm. Start with
also,
okay, go on.
mhm,
Sorry. So sorry, go on.
also, someone that you kind of like, you enjoy their company, or also they treat you with respect. I think that's a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would I would keep it very simple.
Hmm.
Somebody who cares about your feelings is a friend.
Yes, that's good.
I keep it simple. Let's not somebody who cares how you feel will also be careful how they make you feel.
Mm,
You see my
that's
point?
good. Yes.
This person did not care how you felt. They needed something done and they used you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are useful to them. Are they useful to you? Do they care how you feel? Because people who care how you feel will be careful on what they do and how they handle and how they treat you. That's a friend. A friend, it will take care, will know you enough to understand your boundaries, the things you like, the things you don't like, and will treat you the way you want to be treated. They will not override you. They will not overburden you. They will not use you, abuse you. They will know you enough to not cross the line that will upset you. A true friend will genuinely care how they make you feel. They will say, how are you feeling? When they see you walking, they will go, oh, good job, thank you. Oh, wow. They will be understanding of the investments you are making. They will be appreciative. They will say thank you. They will bring gratitude to you. That's a friend. A friend will see you for who you are. Is that simple enough?
Yes, that's great. That sums it up.
Very simple. A
Yeah.
friend cares how you feel. And so friendship will contribute greater positive feelings. Yes, not negative feelings. Right? And if negative feelings come, they will say, oh, I'm sorry, or they will say, oh, what did I do? They will care to know what they did to upset you. And you too, you care enough to ask them if you upset them. Real friendship is what we do to each other and the emotional impact and emotional effects of what we are saying, what we are thinking, and what we're doing with one another. So, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, what does that mean now? So, evaluate, use that workbook, evaluate your circle. Who have you surrounded yourself with? Do they feel you, or are they using you?
Mhm.
Hmm?
Yes, I like that.
Now, depending on you, so let me now, that's foundational. Let me now say, depending on who you are, You see, generally speaking, if you're a given person, okay, give without expecting. That's generosity. So if you're a giver, you are in service of other people constantly. Many people who are on the giving side, and they attract takers. The day they want somebody to give, they attracted takers. Do you understand? You better be okay with that. Because there's a side of people who like to give, who don't know how to take. If you are that person, you like to give, you attract takers. But if you are, there's something to certain types of people who don't feel comfortable with taking. That stuff, you have to work on it, because it usually comes from stories and stories and stories of what you've been programmed to believe about taking from people or receiving. This thing shows up even in wealth creation. People who labor, but they don't know how to take money. Yeah, because of their stories. And they'll be complaining. It's all programming. And that's why yesterday I was talking about feminine and masculine side. You probably, may I go a little bit further? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. If you say yes, I will go. If no, I will mind my business. You know me, I'm not. You probably, the doing side of you are more on that side, giving. But the other side of receiving, do you feel like you draw people in that care deeply about you to do for you what you have done for others?
Maybe not. But how do I draw them?
Yeah, how do you, okay, so your question now is, how do you attract givers?
Because I don't mind giving, and I don't necessarily give out of a place of I will receive back, especially from the person who have given. I always give from the perspective of God will reward me, or I like to do this. But I would not want to be attract just the takers. I would want to be a balanced person.
Okay, so describe the type of people you want to attract, or describe the type of people that you would love to be in their midst.
The type of people who genuinely care about, basically the type of people who can give back also, not just takers, I guess.
So non-selfish people.
Yes, selfless people.
Yeah, typically selfless people are hiding, because once you start achieving greater success, you're going to learn the selfless people that make it to the top will learn how to protect their energy, time, and resources. And so they will guard themselves, because they know by the time you get to the top, not beginning. Most people start with giving, and they say, why is the world not giving? When you get smart and wiser, you are still a giver, but you are a smart investor of time and energy. By the time you get to the top, the women who make it to the top, who are still givers, know how to protect themselves, because energy is not unlimited. Do you see how much volume of hours I pour into the school? Do you know you cannot equate it with money? It's not about money. You know that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I can give endlessly, but I have made a decision. Some people will at least invest something for them to access me. It's not about the money, but the money will allow people to respect the atmosphere and to value this sport. I can go hours and hours and hours, and nobody has paid. Nobody can claim they paid for what I do here, but you paid into access. But I'm still myself. I'm still generous. I'm still playful. But this access, I gated it. Why? Because this world is filled with so many people who take everything for granted and who feel entitled to other people's stuff. You have to stop that thing at the door. That character, that's misalignment, that's rascaliness. You put a stop to it so that when people come in, they will come with respect, honor, and protect the atmosphere. That's how givers who make it to the top, that's how they survive this world. Otherwise, they won't like themselves, because they will attract people who feel entitled to people's time, energy, and walk away and do what those people did to you last weekend. They will eat your food, pack some to go, and dump on you. And then somebody else will have the audacity the next day to say, how come you didn't announce to us that you are taking more assignment? These are the unbelievable characters of this world. They didn't contribute nothing. They didn't show appreciation, but they will always find the person that will take up their responsibility, and they won't say thank you, and they won't show gratitude. Eventually, wise women will understand that dimension of this world, and that is the space you avoid completely. You avoid those kind of people. Those are the people you don't allow near you. Let them go and find gullible people to be doing that thing too. Do you understand? So the key is, the higher you go, the more you protect yourself, your energy. And I'm like, no, you don't. There's some people you don't need to know, and they don't need to know you. The people who will know you and value you, they will invest. Whether it's time, whether it's energy, whether it's thank you, they will invest because they value your contribution in the world. The rest of the people who don't value you, leave them alone. Leave them alone. But if you are needy, don't be needy. You know, I've shared you. Don't be a needy person. Don't be a needy person. You attract people who take advantage. This is the world. That's why I'm saying wisdom. Eventually, people will make it to the top. The wisdom that will carry people to the top is learning where you have fertile ground. You see, if God gives you a seed, as a farmer, you're supposed to be wise enough where you put your seed. If God gives you a seed, he's not telling you to be unwise and to be throwing it in rocky soil. Parable of the sower. There are rocky people. There are thorny people. Thorn. There are people on the wayside. If you put your seed in those places, please don't expect harvest. Fertile ground, soft, succulent relationships where when you put time and energy, they will thank God for you. They will show appreciation. The energy they give you back is up and up. That will sustain you and keep you going. But the rest, you don't need those people. Leave them alone. They've made a decision. It's a pattern. It's a way of thinking. They use people. They don't appreciate people. Leave those people alone. They are not your friend. The people who are friendly, they appreciate, they show gratitude, they say thank you. So it's really up to you that the higher you go, you have got to value your time, energy, and resources enough. Listen, these are the wisdom that, don't tell me Christian this, Christian that, Christian this, Christian this. Don't be a gullible Christian. Don't be an unwise Christian. Don't be ignorant Christian. Don't be lazy Christian. You see, there are all kinds of people in the church today. They go to church, but their character and behavior is unbelievable. That's also part of wisdom. Not everybody who sits in the church has developed the behavior that would, right, study to show themselves approved. And don't expect that God is asking you to join yourself with Lot, Agar, or Jonah. Disobedient people. Listen, this is why I say to Christianity, God will say, if you are lacking wisdom, come to him. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, you see, so that people understand, sitting in church and saying you are a Christian, but you're not developing your character, you're not asking God for wisdom on how to navigate this life, and you're thinking, listen, people need to just understand real life, not fantasy. Real life is that before you invest your time, energy, and resources, make sure you are doing it consciously, and you are making sure your intention, the energy with which you are doing it and why you are doing it, is on point. So the people you are looking for, generally speaking, it's just like the value you're getting. You may have to join a club, because women too are now wiser. They will create club and community, because the people who have been pouring and pouring and pouring have learned a big lesson. And so eventually women learn how to create communities, social groups, book club, up and up club, that people will now use their money, so that people will value that atmosphere and protect, and that atmosphere will only draw people who value that atmosphere enough to invest in it. And typically the money is a shift in psychology. It's not that the money is going to be equal to the value they extract. People who put money into communities value what is going on there, and they appreciate it. Their heart is more, they will enjoy it, and they will be more positive towards it, and they will enjoy the atmosphere more. People who sit down expecting somebody else to do all the work, somebody else to labor for them, and they will just go in, strolling and come out, and strolling and come out, like as if they own the place. Those people, you don't want them around you. You don't want them around you. Love them from afar. Because they also there's a lot of spiritual things that happen even around those people. I won't talk too much about that. But when you start seeing certain behavior in people, just make sure you are understanding that the back end is spiritual. The back end is always spiritual. Whenever you see people behaving a certain way, the back end is spiritual. And so even the spiritual back end of such people, do you really want it around you? Do you understand what I'm saying there? People who are not respectful, people who are not appreciative, people who are not don't show gratitude, people who don't care about other people, you see, the stuff they are packing, you don't even want it around you. The pattern of thinking, the way they will talk. Because trust me, what that person did it has an undertone of pride. That person feels they are better than you, feels they are doing you favor by even coming to your house. That person, I can almost picture the way the person walks around you. The person feels special, and you are the one people pleasing these people. But anyway, it's okay. No, I'll just share my own, but the rest is up to you.
Thank you, Coach. That shed a lot of light, and it
Yeah.
gave me a roadmap of a way forward.
Let me ask, are these people of your culture?
We're from the same country, but different cultures. Definitely different
Do you go
cultures.
to the same church?
We do go to the same church. Yeah.
And it's good to have people over. You know, you started the conversation by
Mhm.
the it's the excesses you presented. It's good
Yes.
to it's good to host people, have people over, invest in people. Do it because that's who you are and you enjoy doing it. The key was after you have done what you set out to do, the excesses of they now just saying, by the way, this child is sleeping over without you, right? That is the one you are addressing. Is that what will make a person do that? Yes, that's the key. What will make a person do that? What will make a person also even consider the effort you have put in to even cook and everything, knowing that you are deserving of rest for the next day? What will make somebody feel like they can do that, come into your home, eat your food, pack some food, and then give you more responsibility overnight to watch their kids? What would make a person arrive at that conclusion and be okay with doing that to another person? That's the one I'm saying. Dig deeper into the psychology. You realize this person doesn't care about how you feel. And you didn't like it, but you didn't say anything. You accepted it, and you stewed a little bit, right? From what I said yesterday, you stewed inside you. You were like, what was going on in your mind when you were stewing?
So when I was stewing about it, I was like self-regulating, you
Okay.
know, using the tools I have learned and trying to, become because I'm here on a healing journey, a complete makeover. So I was like, okay, this is the situation. Let me first call myself out because I should have said, no, absolutely not. I said no sleepovers. I told my kids that. So I don't know where your child got the information from that we're doing sleepovers, but kids are kids. Maybe they just, said, okay, well, whatever the case, no sleepovers. Absolutely not. So there was that part where, why, Sheila, why didn't you just say no? It's not happening. And then there's the part also of, okay, so now I was like, okay, there's the part where, all right, I want my kids to really enjoy this. Am I being selfish by
Mm.
not spending the time with the kids because it's the holiday?
Mm. Well, I think with this additional information, you probably also want to do another engagement with your child.
Yeah.
Because if you said you communicated something with your child, you want to find out if she overrode you, he or she, if the child overrode you and still went on to have her own plan with her own friends and still trapped you, knowing you will still say yes. That one you have to still, kids are kids, but
Yes, kids
part
are
of it
kids
is,
because they were talking about that. They were talking all week about sleepovers, and I kept telling them absolutely no sleepovers. So it's possible that they overrode me and told the parents that.
so you have your own inner house to clean.
Exactly.
Because eventually you were still happy, everything turned out because they were happy, so they got their way. So they may have contributed to crossing the boundary. So there's one from the parents, but did your own children also go ahead behind you to have a plan you already said no to? That would also say that, how do your kids view you and your personality of always saying yes? If we push mommy enough, we will convert our no to yes. We can go behind her back and still do whatever we want to do. No, even whatever. So whatever she's saying doesn't even matter. She doesn't mean what she says, and she doesn't say what she means. She just says no, but I know we know how to convert it back to yes. We will still do whatever we want to do, even though mommy. So they overrode your authority. So they have not experienced your firmness. And so they may not know consequences of when mommy says no, no means no. And if they go behind your back and they still get their own way, and they are happy they got their own way, well, they've mastered you. Again, you tell me more, I'll give you perspective. They've mastered you. No consequences for overriding mommy. They climb on you. Everybody climbs on you, and you are okay with that. As long as they're smiling and happy, you're okay. Disrespect on all angles. So you also have your inner house to clean, if that is what happened. I'm not saying it is what happened. I'm just saying take a deeper look and explore if your kids actually open the door. Because these things are spiritual. All these things up front, they are spiritual. Why? Because if your kids are going out there misrepresenting you and inviting outside people into your space and then making you feel pressure to say yes to something you already said no to in your house, and you categorically told your kids no for your own well-being, yet they went to open the door and invited other people to come to the sleepover that did not exist. What else are they, what if that is the case, what else are they doing that you have no idea about? What else are they doing when you are not there? What else are they involved in that they're like, mommy's voice is like? What else are they doing that you don't know? Because respect is the sound that stops people from crossing a boundary. But if they don't know, if they don't see any boundary, then they walk all over. You know, humans do that. This one is a tough one, right? But you know, here's the key. Everything I'm saying, you already know who you're dealing with. You know your kids. But sometimes you just need to awaken to the truth, not fantasy. So what I'm saying now, your spirit, your soul knows what really happened. If you want the truth of what really happened, your spirit and your soul is aware of what your kids are doing. Or if you know this thing, sometimes people don't just like confronting the truth. So there's nothing I've said now that you don't know about. Yes?
Yes, it's very possible. It's definitely there that the kids did play a part in it because they had been talking about it the whole time. So they played a major role in the whole thing. And probably that's why the parents even came, ready for the kid to have the sleepover, because the kids were talking about it. But at the same time, there has to be a boundary where what kids are talking about, parents should also have a conversation about, which is what I'm gonna call and set the boundaries. Set that.
Yeah, I mean, these things are very practical.
Mm-hmm.
They're very, very practical. That's why what you don't confront, what you don't want to see, is right there. But everybody needs tools. Everybody needs tools. Because even these tools, when you finish using these tools, guess what? You pass it to your kids. How you are handling reality now. When all is said and done, you pass it to the next generation. The next generation will repeat the pattern. And you are also probably doing what you've seen done. And that's okay. I'm just saying awareness. Be aware. Just be aware of what you're doing, what was done, what you're doing, and what will be done. And then checking with yourself. What's the real legacy you want to leave behind? And then what if this is fine with you, then let it be fine. But if it's not fine, make sure they know it's not acceptable. That's all. And everybody be friends, So even how, there's a master class on parents and kids in the school. You can search for it. Have you watched it before? Have you accessed it?
I've watched the one on EQ of kids.
Yes. Right? And depending on the age of the kids, right, it's how they might exercise this will be different. So part of what I desire is personality, shaping of personality, not suppression, but expression, observation, awareness, understanding, overstanding of kids. Right? Many people grew up in cultures that suppressed. So a lot of the people they did life with, they don't even know your personality. They don't even know you. They just know the version of you that didn't talk, that just accepted everything. Individuation makes you develop a strong personality that people know what you like, what you don't like, what you would accept, what you would not accept. But the culture from which people came out of makes people accept everything, blend in, and not have strong personalities. Right? For you to actually have a personality, when you are not there, people will say, if you were here, this is you, right? Your representative will be, people will know who you are and what to expect when they engage with you. Personality speaks. It is your spiritual representative upon the earth, so that everybody knows what you like, what you don't like, and they can also anticipate your reactivity or response. That's strong personality. Not people wondering, what would they say? No, they will know what you will say. People ought to know you enough to say, hey, don't wake mommy up. If you do, you will get this. If mommy says don't do this and you do, be expecting. You already know what to expect. Don't say I didn't tell you. Personality helps everybody understand who they are doing business with. And everybody can have fun, can play with clear understanding of who you are and who they are. And so even kids need to be shaped. They need room to be able to the shaping of their personality. Listen, if you allow your kids to be honest and truthful with you, what they will bring out and show you, you have to be ready to watch that play and be like, because when people don't allow kids to develop personality, those kids will be a copy. Their personality will be suppressed, and they will take on behaviors that they believe is acceptable, and they will move through life hiding their real self, but giving you what they think you will say yes to. That's not healthy. That's what many people are still dealing with in adulthood today. However, as a parent, if you have a strong personality, help your children develop a strong personality. But guess what? You must be ready to hold space for strong-willed children. And you will watch drama. You will watch them demonstrate. And it is always how much space can you create for other people to emerge within your home and individuate within your home. Most parents don't have the time, the energy, and the space to allow children to individuate in the family of origin. So children tend to grow up later in life. Right? So it takes parents, strong personality parents will appreciate kids to be good, right? So that kids don't hide. You know, that's the thing. The benefit of this thing is that some people will say they're street. Well, guess what? The character of them when they step out of their house, who they are outside, when they come in, they know how to mask. They'll be polite in the house, but outside they're like, whoo! Why don't you let them do that who right under you and you watch the movie so you know them better? So you're not surprised. Let them be fully who they are, just as you are fully who you are. When family of origin, do not make room for kids to say what they mean and mean what they say, just as you are saying what you mean and meaning what you say. Then everybody will be masking and pretending, and they will say something, other people will erase it, and then somebody else will say this, the kids will say yes, 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 but they mean no. How do people live life like that? Right? I would rather this iron sharpen iron. I'll bring mine, you bring yours. Okay. But not everybody's like me. Right? But I'm just giving you, there's a world where you can actually, it's more charged. It's a world that is more charged up, where everybody's talking, everybody says what they mean, and everybody's like engaged. That is a lot of fun. I like that, but some people just like passivity. It's okay. Me, activated, charged up, everywhere. But you have to be ready to watch the emerging of the personality of self. Trust me, it's a movie. It's like, it's so entertaining. You're like, you don't even know what people will say anytime, just like you. So that's just another world entirely that is more lived, more fun, more activated, more alive, more bubbly. I mean, yeah. Sheila, what did I just put stuff out there now. But you have to be alive to your being, to yourself, to your personality, to awaken everybody around you. Too much?
Nope, just enough.
Just enough. Okay, good. Okay, let me know. I'm telling you, let me know.
I'm working on it. I'll come with the testimony.
Yeah, because I work with, I've seen people who are generational wealth builder, where generations of parents and children are working together to build a business. You cannot do that if people are not themselves. And if people cannot say yes and no and mean it, you cannot build anything generationally with people who don't tell the truth of who they are, who mask. For how long can you do that? You will sharpen each other. You are saying yes, they're saying no. You have to learn communication. Like, but if you are raising people who always say yes, 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 then they are not contributing the power of God in them to advancing a mission and a vision upon the earth. This is the consequence of all these things, that they mute people only talk when they're talking. Well, when it is time to build something together, you can only build with people who are individuals, right? Who can unpack the gift of God in their life and contribute it to whatever, right? And so I had a lot of that, even as a young person. I used to, as a teenager, I used to type. My father used to dictate and I would be typing. right? It will be dictating and I'll be typing. I will say, oh, do this, do that. And I'll be going like this, typing things. It will be dictating words and I'll be typing. And then when I produce and we print it, we do it like so. My own skills of as a young person, he welcomed it. He was something he didn't have, the skills he didn't have. He lets me use my skills to benefit him. What an incredible thing for a child to experience. Because I bring your talents, bring your perspective, because that's an acknowledgement that God may have put something in your children that can bless you, that can speak to you. It takes humility for a parent to help the child nurture the gift of God in their life, because you have to see the child different from you, not you imposing your will on them. The children have a strong will. How do you help them unpack their gifts, their talents, and the value they are bringing that God puts in them? You will have to be a parent that is willing to hear things you've never heard, see things that you've never seen, and it's the gift of God. I'm telling you. All kinds of stories. You'll be like, oh, but you have to be willing to let, right? Because if you are not willing, they will tend to still have their way and use you and manipulate, right? And do all this. They will still find a way to get what they want. If people are not allowed to individuate and their personalities shine, and for them to express fully their desires, right? What they will end up doing is they will go and tell people outside and use outside people to they will open the, that's what, right? If you don't, like if you say no, but they want yes, and they're not able to engage with you, mommy, why now? And they are not able to get you to buy in. They use other means and they still got what they want, simply because something you and them could have ironed out by yourself before you open the door to other people. They may not, that's sharpened stuff. If you don't make room for it, they will find a loophole that will still help them get it. Just something to watch out for. I know we just took the conversation and broadened it. Yes? Okay with that?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Miss Beverly, are you available now to say some mysteries and welcome? I know yesterday I covered a whole lot, and then I was like, oh, tomorrow I'll open with, opportunities for question and interaction. Yes. Miss Beverly? Okay, you can always use the chat space. I saw that you wanted to come to a quiet place, but let me know when you're available, okay? Miss Chisholm, how did you process yesterday's session?
I'll use the chat space and I'll type it in.
Okay, you type. Okay, type. Yep. Okay. So yes, yesterday, right, I covered 12 things, but there's a lot more to unpack always on this topic. You see, what I was trying to do was make the connection from, emotional development, spiritual growth, and then this question of where did all this dysregulation come from? And then I talked about emotional strongholds, energetics, fight, flight, freeze. And what I would love to explore and go deeper on today is the power of stories. Okay. Let me see who's typing. Okay. Still processing. Yeah, still processing it. Okay. The power of stories. I want to take note. Still processing it, and you have been questioning your thoughts and aligning myself with what I'm producing outside. Heal faster and help others. Well, if you help others, you will heal faster. As you are helping people, you are growing and expanding. That's the secret right there. Okay, because you're speaking up now and exposing your thoughts, but are people ready for it? Because one thing for everybody to watch out for is that everybody wants a world where they can speak their mind. That's what everybody's looking for. There is no relationship without honesty of thoughts. And so part of what is the issue today is that people are claiming to be in a relationship that is one-sided. People are claiming to be in a relationship where the power dynamics favors one person, doesn't favor the other. And they are telling you to continue holding those relationships true in your life, relationships that are unhealthy for your soul. They're saying you should keep carrying people up, emotional babies. For what reason? And this has health implications, just so people awaken to the seriousness of this conversation. Okay, I said, those scared, sometimes people have not seen the strong side of my personality that I've been hiding, suppressing by culture. That's the key. Every human carries the power of God. Hey, every human carries the Spirit of God. They carry power. What is going on is you are living in a world that closes the tap of the flow of people's power because they don't want to see it. It's the underworld of the enemy of God. That's all he wants to do. Shut people up. Because if God's power flows in and through you, you become unstoppable, you become effective, you start driving impact, and you start advancing God's kingdom upon the earth. You are the vessel, you are a carrier of a message from heaven to earth. When the enemy wants to cover people's glory and he doesn't want to see God's power flow, he uses all this system, everything, the 12 things I shared yesterday. He uses that schematic diagram to make sure the spirit and power of God stops flowing, or it closes the tap and it will be trickling. And then inside people, you know you are powerful, but expression, right? Because when you start speaking God's word over your body will carry God's power. So for God's power to land upon the earth in your physical body, you must speak, think, believe for it to pass into this world, this third dimension world. So many people are carrying God's power, but it's a clog. It's now like inside them, the enemy makes sure, right? That's where the battle is, inner work. And many people now turn on themselves, imploding, like they start fighting themselves, inside themselves, having conversations inside themselves on LD, and they are taking themselves down. That is the work. That's all the enemy has to do. That's all. Church people who are like, this is practical. This is practical. You will pray less prayer if you can undo what is going on inside you. However, even the prayer you will pray is to help you quiet what ought not to be inside you. It's as long as a thought, you are thinking it, guess what? It is already inside you. You don't think of a thought that is not inside you. So even if you are looking at people and watching other people, but you are thinking about them, all the thoughts you will think for other people are all the thoughts that is inside you. You cannot think of a thing that you are not carrying. So the enemy has to impregnate people with thoughts and then want them to accept it. Or the only one that is external is if you are listening to the thoughts of other people that what it means is if you hear people communicate and you are watching a movie or other people are talking, then their own thoughts that they are carrying inside them is what they are expressing out into the world. You carry your own thoughts, your own stories, you express it, they are expressing. And in that moment, people can exchange, right? Meaning, conversation can lead to an exchange. As you're hearing people speak, one or two things may be important or beneficial to you. You take it, you put it inside you. You take notes, mental, right? When you say mental note, literally you are taking their energy and you're copying it inside you. You remember it. It's not everything people say or everything you see that you remember. It is the one you vibrate on that you consider valuable, that you want to pack and carry away from your experience. That's the one your mind will. This concept of mental notes is, please understand, you can take physical notes and write something down, but constantly your mind is making notes of your observation. It's automatic copy. Your mind has access to other people's mind and is negotiating on your behalf. Oh, I like that. It will store it. So you have a system that stores everything you're taking mental notes of. The processing side of it is, did you capture everything or did you capture more or less? The cleanup process, the filtering process. Okay, so he said, Coach, you talked about the energy that others give off. Okay, that's Miss Beverly. When they have not done the inner work. Yes, I did. They have this long energy field of negative action, okay? Feelings and emotion. Can they project this energy on you without you being aware, even though you are working on yourself? Oh, yes, now, Miss Beverly, come on. That's everything I've been talking about. Oh, okay. I'll talk a little bit more about it today. What else? Oh, I wasn't even answering. You said I answered. Guys, projection has levels. I want to, you see now I'm trying to decide how far I will go as I want to answer some parts of that question. There's a lot of human technology. God has designed some incredible things that works every day. However, the club teach themselves how to use God's technology to commit all the sins ever. They seek knowledge a lot in that club. They go into right that world, because if you want to ascend, everybody needs power and knowledge. Remember, I shared with you, spiritually you need power and knowledge. The most serious people in this world that want to ascend well, they want to build well, they want to do this, they want to do this, and the moment they don't do it God's way, with God's spirit, there is a whole world that educates people on how to sing using God's technology to ascend, make money, do this, do that, do that, do that. You want to understand, to rule the world. The people who rule the world, that they don't do it God's way, with God's power, with God's spirit. There's a whole school system. Many of them. They go to that school system and then they teach them this, the secrets of the technology that exists. They don't make it public. It's not public. It's not public. When you now see people achieving this, achieving that, they all pack powers. You too need power of the Holy Spirit. So this is it. Jesus said to his disciples, stay in this room, pray, I will send you power. So that Christians understand that you are living in a world that it is power packed. There's nowhere you are going if you don't carry power. There's not much you can say in this world that people will listen to. There's not much you can do if you don't carry a force of your spirit to be taken seriously, to impact the world, to shape the world, to lead power and knowledge. And so in God's kingdom, so that Christians will understand, Jesus talks about power constantly. The power of God, the power of the Holy Spirit, the power in the word of God. Your scripture is filled with power, 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 power. Christianity is advancement of God's kingdom upon the earth. You propel it forward. You push it. You push. Listen, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. Will for will, institution, mandate, authority. You are living in a kingdom of God, dominion, authority. You need it to bring God's will upon the earth and to drive God's purpose and power and goals. You don't have some. But to use power, you need knowledge. So it is the truth that will set you free, because God's kingdom is about setting people free. You are a free being. But Jesus had to die because sin holds people bound. Sin does a whole lot of things that Jesus died to set everybody free. Free to then advance and download the mission of God. And I'm also saying there's so many things already in place to ensure people are not free. And if you want to be free, that's when you wake up and you start engaging against the systems put in place so that you are not free. When you are ready to be free, you will wake up spiritually, because you need power to be free. But if you are okay, you can permit whatever it is, don't do any work, just stay there. And the enemy is happy, and people are in that place. What part of this question do I really reply to? Miss Beverly, do you want to speak? I'm reading your question. I'm like, which part should I answer? So I don't go too deep into, I don't go where you didn't ask me to. Which one do I answer, Miss Beverly? Really, I really want to, like, which one? Let's talk about relationship and connectivity. Everybody you're in relationship with has access to transfer information into your system and you to theirs with thoughts, beliefs, words. And if you are carrying negative stories and they are carrying negative stories, you for them and they for you, the bond that keeps that relationship energetically in place, when it is not peace. Peace allows you to do whatever you want to do, move around, do whatever, right? Everybody's free. This person's free. People who are free, their relationships are held together by peace, bond of peace. Two people who are free, who do life together, both of them, right? They'll give each other space, respect, You've got yours, I got, right? But in this world, people who carry negativity, and trust me, this is daily work, because you are living in the world. You're not of the world, but you're living in the world. Thoughts fly, they land, right? At the end of the day, the question is, what bond is tying you together with people? If it is not peace, then it becomes what type of energy? Energies tie people together, because energy carries thoughts. The thoughts people have for you is propelled from inside them to outside of them with an energetic force. When it gets inside you, if you have a copy of that type of energy, you pick it up, you store it in your system, and that information is stored with the energy that carried it into your system. That's why when you remember what somebody said, you recreate the feelings and emotions. Because it's not just information, you are carrying a quantum computer that carries information around in the world energetically. Energy is the hand that carries information. And so all of the people you are in relationship with, the energetic force that comes out of you is driven by the thoughts you have for them, and it carries it into them and stores it in them, and they pick it up as well. And the energy they have for you, the way they talk to you, the energy with which they are using to talk to you, that's the key. When people invest more in being more positive, it means that how they will talk to people and engage with people will be more positive. That means the emotions and feelings they will create in the people who do life with them will be more positive. That's what I say, up and up. But generally speaking, right, it's not just, oh, people are 100% positive. It's that the work you have to do is acknowledge what is within you, how you are feeling, your emotions, your own thoughts, your own beliefs, what they are doing to you, and then how you interact with other people, how you feel around them is the real source of their own energy, because you can experience other people's energy when they engage with you based on how you feel when you engage with them. So we are all sharing energetic activation at the end of the day. Beyond just words, it's the energy people are dropping in and out. And so this concept of projection is, if somebody projects positivity on you, you will be happy. God bless this person. Oh, I love this person. This person is so nice. Oh, God bless them. Oh, you will say, oh, thank you for thinking about me. Thank you so much. Yeah. Somebody who loved you sent you sweetness. So there's no complaining on that one. It is the micro messaging on her. They are laughing with you. They're coming, they're eating your food. They're doing all those things. But their heart is not with you. Their people's hearts, if people's hearts are against you, what length will they go to make you understand that they don't like you or they think a certain way? When they project, they send a message to you energetically with the thoughts they carry about you. I'm now also saying that message that is sent and the sender, they can send it gentle form, but they can also send it with force, power, activation, vibration, that when it lands on the other side, it can land them, or it can land and rock your world. So it's a spectrum. All this projection is a spectrum. Which one do you think the club is busy doing every day and every night? Right? So if it's just an average person that doesn't like you, fine. But I've shared this before. Some people feel human to human, they don't pack enough force. Some people go and invite more people. They join energy. That's why people will tell you, right? Don't sit in the council of the ungodly. The ungodly people gather, they blend their force together and they decide what, right? They pack more force and they on the surface, one person that is not in the club, on an average person can still send you, I don't like you, and you know you don't like you, and it doesn't matter. There's not much force back there. But club know how to gather more momentum and not just pack one. They can pack a whole load of funky stuff and transfer it through the quantum. They can send energy with electricity. I'm serious with this technology, right? And then they have geopositioning. They know GPS. They know the phone number. They have specific things of contact of that person. They will say, search for this person in this whole world. Wherever that person is, send that the person this message. So that's the advanced. So that's what I'm saying. Which one do you really? Is it just the regular one or which one? Because what's also true is people don't even get on the radar of the higher level, because the world is also designed and by frequency for frequency, power for power. So people only see what is at their level. They only experience what's at their level. That's all. But when you enter corridors of power and influence and money, okay, the show begin. Let the show begin. Let the show begin. Yeah, is that once you start getting into, then you will see everything. Everything will be playing. Everything, all the movie that runs the world. You see it all. You're like, okay. Yeah. But every day, people, you only encounter things at your level. God will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. So everybody is seeing and experiencing life at their level. But when you grow up emotionally, spiritually, right? Because you'll be getting greater reward for your victory. If David takes down Goliath, what are they going to give him? Crown. You understand? When he was doing lion and the bear, what did they give him? He was preparing. But the victory that people are preparing for is that the crown is promised to the person who takes care of that stuff. So spiritual matters is like that. If you don't want to grow up right, because the reward, when people say wealth, money, success, it is a reward for victory, for having dealt with some stuff, helping people solve what they've not solved, figuring out the solution to the world, investing in yourself to bring to reality. Here is a solution, take this. The reward is then earthly wealth, money, riches. Yes. But the first thing is you'll be built to handle that. Yes. So I talked around it, but if there's still specific question you have, let me know. But you can tell that I went this way, but I was like, okay, let me just give you that perspective and then, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me hope it's not the network. Okay. Any other questions? Let's see this route. Okay, let me do this. Anybody else? You can also ask questions, any type of question, even if it's not about yesterday, because yesterday was quite complete. I talked about childhood stories, healing your inner child identity, family of origin experiences, DNA ancestry, educational system, your birth order, siblings dynamic, healing your father relationship, your mother relationship, sister, brother, sibling. I talked about culture, environment, friendships, right? Marriage. Then the 12th one, I bundled system, religious system, financial system, health system, food system, agriculture. And I then talked about centralized power versus individualized power. What we are talking about is you are born into a reality where power is centralized. Systems are built energetically and power is orchestrated. You also have your storytellers that give you meaning. You are born into systems. Individuation is when you take your own power onto yourself to choose to decide, right? To choose and decide what you want. And then you will still relate with those systems as an intelligent spiritual being. But if you are an ignorant, you don't know enough about these systems and how they were designed, people are born for the systems to rule them and control them. But when you set yourself free, but the way you're going to set yourself free is with knowledge and power. When you are set free, you individualize, you come out from inside this system, and then you engage with this system with understanding, overstanding. You now use the system to benefit yourself. You're not running away. You are growing up enough to handle what is going to handle you if you don't handle it. Religious system will handle you. If you walk into any church and you cannot handle your own spiritual affairs, well, power is centralized. I'm not talking, right? Individual power is when you connect back to God. You will still go to church if you're a Christian, but you will not be, like Jesus said, Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. But you know that Sabbath can be used to dominate people, religious stories. Jesus was trying to tell you, this whole Sabbath, this whole space is created to help man. And don't use it to hold man bound. In fact, a man is being healed on Sabbath, and you are questioning the freedom of a man because you want to uphold Sabbath principle. Who are those people upholding Sabbath principle? Who are the power figures? Who are the authority figures deciding that honoring Sabbath is more important than setting a man free? Jesus addressed that. But many people cannot address these excesses if they don't understand the original plan God has for churches. And they don't know how some churches have deviated. God instituted it for this. Jesus, head of the church, is coming back for a church without spot or blemish. Yes, if you don't understand the image, the pure version, this is the standard of God. Let everyone who names the name of the Lord depart from iniquity. But you have people naming God, but they are the sinners, and they are protecting their sin, and they are sitting comfortably in sin, and they are all repentant. Please understand the standard of God versus what men are doing. You have to be able to see this and say, hey, men of this world, when the church become like this. But you have to know the original plan, the institution, the way God wants it to work. And then what you are experiencing now, they say original plan, hey, humans call stuff. And then you have to reconcile that. Only those who mature can handle those two. The original, if you see authentic, if you know what authentic money is, when you see fake, you'll be like, I'm not accepting. But people are accepting what should not be. In the beginning, it was not so. Jesus said it. Humans can continue to deviate and permit it and permit it and permit it. God is not changing his standard. Jesus said, in the beginning, it was not so. You guys can keep telling your own story to justify what you are doing. That's fine. But in the beginning, don't rewrite the beginning. In the beginning, it wasn't designed that way. So humans have gone off with their own scripts, everyone to his own way. But you have to elevate yourself and go and say, hey, God, but what was your original plan? How is parents supposed to be treating their children? Brothers and sisters supposed to be talking about their children? Are they supposed to be lauding it, breaking people, using spiritual will to dominate people? Oh, in the beginning, it was not so. But here we are. Are you supposed to be feeling this, feeling that? In the beginning, it wasn't so. What people are dealing with today, suppression, this, that, in the beginning, it wasn't so. So what happened? So if you want to come back to the beginning, you'll be set free from the shackles, the strongholds that hold people tied down as spiritual babies that don't know what they are doing. You will grow and mature if you want to be free. Because freedom feels different. You say what you mean what you say, and you are ready to stand by it spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, right? And if you don't, if you haven't grown, they will tell you keep quiet. The only people they can say to keep quiet are people who don't have the, because in the spiritual dimension, you will stand for what you are saying. Listen, you are contributing words to the programming of this world. When you speak, you are programming yourself and your environment. So when people speak over you, you better speak your own and choose your own. Otherwise, the default it is. Okay, chat. Oh, okay, okay. Let me read. This is a long one. Lengthy. Okay, it says something to me, Sheila, that made you understand something that you've been wondering about that happens in the community more than not. Okay, family business that the children do not continue. Parents that have built the business but not the relationship with the children. Unknowingly, this can also be said about the church and family relationship. Individualization is more important in the freedom of people. Yes. When people are not free to say what they really mean and mean what they really say, how do you then do life with other people that don't want to hear you and don't want to, that have their own opinion of who you are, and they want to keep their opinion of who you are, which is not the authentic version? They've come up with a story. They've created an identity within themselves of who you are. And they want you to come and be an actor in their own movie. So you will have to change to please them. The cost and the price of you losing your authentic identity and taking on an identity somebody else crafted for you. The energetic side of it is people lose themselves and become something else that is the remote control of the script writer. Hard-on spiritual dynamics. What will make that remote control function as spiritual forces of Club the Club. And it is abundant in the communities that can't just handle people as they want to be. They will use tools to shape people and mold people, and they will twist people, and people won't recognize themselves anymore so that they can handle people. They will shrink people into spiritual babies, and they will put them in their purse, and they will be carrying them all over the place. Meanwhile, the people are grounding spiritually. Set me free, set me free. But people who are not free are useful. People who are not free are useful to advancing the kingdom of darkness. Free people are useful to advancing the kingdom of God. Please, this is the old. When God says, are you cold or are you hot? This fence people are sitting on, you will pick a side and you will run it with your full force. Those who are in the club, they are very forceful. Right? So the race is there. And many people have attempted to do this, but as quickly as they want to break free, that the forces say, where are you going? Where are you going? It's like a game of whack-a-mole. You all whack this, another pop-up. You whack that, pop-up. I'm saying, cuckoo, just get your own tools. Because how many would you do? You're living in this world. Okay. See, that's why I'm like, okay, let me be. But people go to church and say pastor should be working for them. I say, get your own tools and get connected to God. And it's the gym. Right. But communities that do not know how to handle free people, when I say free people, let's just say individuated people, meaning people who have a voice, who have an opinion, and are ready to share it, who know who they are, and they don't want to be something else or someone else for some other people. And if you're going to be someone else, it's because you want to be it. And I'm saying the journey into that place comes with a lot of energetic realities, drama that many people are not prepared to face. And so people don't grow up. There's another advanced things that happen is that the developmental journey God has designed for everybody, let's say in the spiritual development circle, be fruitful, multiply, replenish, yes, subdue it. There's one incredible rule that the club use constantly. They follow a lot of rules, law of sin and death. But what we are talking about is law of the spirit of freedom in Christ Jesus, the spirit of freedom in Christ Jesus. That's what we're talking about. How you get free. Because Jesus has set you free. If you said yes to Jesus, the Spirit of God will help you enforce your freedom upon the earth. But you have to do that work. Jesus has set you free, so you have a right to be free. But you need to use your knowledge of what Jesus has done for you to engage and remain free. One rule the club uses is that spiritual maturity is one thing. Spiritual immaturity in the spiritual dimension, it is ascribed to babies that are dependent. I want to share this if people don't grow spiritually, in the spiritual world, their identity, they take on the identity of a baby. And the rule is, those who care for the baby will get everything that belongs to the baby. They'll be the caregivers of the baby. So one of the things the club does is they are they take care of a lot of people. And they make sure they sit down and make sure those people don't grow. Because while those people don't grow, all the blessings and resources that is for those babies is to go to the caregivers, spiritual caregivers. So the spiritual caregivers get fatter and fatter, more powerful, more resourced. And the people they are caring never grow. They make sure people don't grow spiritually. That's the rule. And so what will keep those people suppressed? They take on more forces. All they have to do is entrap as many people as possible, and they will ascend. They will be ascending the more people they can entrap. That is the club rule. So their full-time job is to be capturing and attracting and bringing more people under their quantum. And the more people they can influence and entrap, the more powerful they are. The power they are absorbing is not the one God resourced to them. It is the one that then the forces will take from those people and give to them. So energy hungry, that club, they are energy hungry. Why? Because God's power doesn't power sin. Right? So because the moment they repent, everybody is set free. They are set free. The center stage of the enemy is dismantled. The light of God dismantles all those things. Everybody is set free. Everybody ascends. So as long as they don't repent, they're not receiving God's power that comes straight from their spirit into their soul. What they will have to do is depend on the power of other people. And in order for them to be siphoning other people's stuff, what will do that work for them? And this thing doesn't respect anybody. You can be a Christian. The only thing is your sound upon the earth is the only thing they respect. That will not allow these people to suck. When I'm using very crude, I know it's crude. It's crude. Let me polish it a little. Soul ties, right? So soul ties is what holds that structure in place. There's a power figure, an orchestrator, symbol of authority, dominating those people spiritually that they all look up to. They all give power to that person, and that person sucks their power. But in the natural, if they look at it, they will be saying, this person is nice, this person is helpful, this person is this person is that. They will be mentioning the person's name, looking up to the person, but spiritual transaction that the person has committed over them, they're the one giving all their power to them. They are not growing. That's why Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. You see, it's the same structure. Is when you lift up Jesus in the house of God, not a man, Jesus will draw you closer to him. When you draw closer to Jesus, what would you get? Freedom, power, authority. Go and live your life. It is for freedom God has set you free. Do not go back to the yoke of bondage. You see, everybody, the system puts people under these structures until you break free. And those structures makes people suppressed. Their power is not released. And the agents that make sure that continues ties them to the power structure, to the person who is the power orchestrator, the storyteller, that gets all the scripts. This thing is everywhere. And I shared a lot there, but let's wrap it up. And right, let's just so 2-3 more minutes and then this will wrap up. Right? But if you have any question, drop it now. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up early today. So it just turned real. No, it just turned real bright. Now you know. You've heard it say this, but just in the moment you got club. Yes. So this is enlightenment. Open your eyes and see the world, the invisible realm, and make sure. And this is about inviting people into freedom. The tools. I shared 12 realities that keep people right. And I'm saying, please, you have your own work to do. Why? Because people are packing stories that has been programmed in them systematically that keeps people, right? Things are held together with stories. And people are made to believe stories supporting Club the Club. Club the Club rooms, they all have stories. If you do this, then that. If you do that, then this. If you do this and that, then whites are this, blacks are that. This, everything is packed. Everybody has a story. How beautiful are the feet of those who speak the good news. When I share these things, they shine light. You are set free. When you do the work, you get the tools. What is happening? You are seeing more of the real world. The world that you are living in that has existed, but you were not meant to see. Because when you see it, you start learning the skills of backing out of it. But when people don't see it, but they are living in it, then that's what's dark. Right? Not knowing what is influencing and directing your reality. But once you know the truth will set you free. Okay. That's it. Let's see what else. Oh, Miracle just came in. Maybe I'll open another round, but let's see. Okay, chat.